Hey, can you all hear me?
Your elected's a good thing. So you get these guys that were APD for 25 years. They have to go back to shift work. They can't work a desk. They don't get the shift the perks, which I like.
Oh, that was. That's, you know, but it doesn't affect you.
I've done my bid for king and country.
For the king and queen, you're done.
Stuff they have. Retired from here, yeah.
Mr. Rubin?
Yeah, I'll go take care of that right now. Okay.
You got it.
Hello, commissioners. Hello, staff.
Hello.
Okay, let's start now. Everything ready?
Can you all hear me clearly in case I need to chime in on something?
I could.
Yes.
Lost you now. Thank you for that diplomatic response, commissioners.
Trying to clean up. A little bit of levity before the meeting.
Okay.
Everybody is in.
Coming under iPad or phone number, Alyssa. There you go. She's right at the top. All right, thanks. Thank you. Ready? Hey, sir. No, that wasn't a problem. No, we're
30 right now.
okay. You ready? Ready? Okay. Welcome to our meeting. We're having an emergency public meeting. Today is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. Time now is 12:31. And let's have roll call, please.
David Hassey Sanchez.
Here.
Billy Smith.
Here.
John Buffington.
Here.
Arthur Branch.
Here.
Petrie.
And let's, everyone remove their caps. We're going to say the pledge of allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah.
Thank you.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, approval of the agenda.
So move Commissioner Smith.
Second, Buffington. I got a motion and second. Favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll move on. Commissioner's report. Okay, one thing I'd like to say that this meeting here is, emergency meeting that we've called, because of, all that's going on in Ruidoso. We have to see the plan that Ruidoso has, and we're going to be very patient there. But the thing is, we're, as commission, looking at the horses more than anything else. Horse can't speak, the horse can't. We have to take the health of a horse into our hearts. We really do. The jockeys the same way. The jockeys are riding them, and the human beings, we just can't just throw them out there. We have to look back. It's all about safety. What we're doing today, it's all about safety, and we have to make sure that we have no horses get hurt because of this, or no jockeys get hurt or killed. So that's what our intentions are here. Whatever we work out with the tracks or everyone here, we're going to do for the safety of the horse and the jockeys, without a doubt. And that's our decisions. We have to look out for them. They have no one to speak for them but us. So we go from there. Okay, let's go on to Ruidoso Downs.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Rick Boggs has been kind enough. He's been swamped over there, Ruidoso Downs with the obvious issues at hand. What we're looking for from Mr. Baugh today is to give us an update and what the Ruidoso Downs plans are, what they're thinking. There's a lot of unrest in the industry with the uncertainty. So I think this will be a good time for Ruidoso Downs to convey the message on what they're doing over there. And then the commission can make decisions based on what he's going to present to us today.
Based on that and the findings of the experts looking at the
Good addition. Yes, sir.
So that's it.
Yes, sir.
Any other commission? Okay, we'll move on to Ruidoso Downs report. A. Where's Mr. Boggs? Current situation on the grounds of Ruidoso following the flood during the weekend of June 29th and 30th, 2024.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Rick.
We're
You all right? You doing all right?
I'm sorry?
Are you doing all right? You're got plenty of rest and stuff or not?
Yeah, it's been something else since.
It sure has.
Me,
You got a tough job.
What I was saying, where to start. The process of repair began immediately the day following the flood event, where we had to cancel the last two trial races for the Rainbow. The process of repair required USDA approval. We have the Army Corps of Engineer in here due to the river. FEMA has been in here due to the burn scar removal and the damage assessments. EPA is in here as well. Lincoln County has been in as well. They've actually been very helpful, each department. But it is a process that we're having to move through because the contaminants and everything from the burn scar that we're dealing with. I can't say enough for the construction crews that we've had in here and the way they've handled things and the response that they made. And we were making really good headway because on Saturday we didn't receive any rain here at the property. But because of the burn scars and what happened on the Salt and the South Fork fire, all the debris came to this racetrack from Eagle Creek to Upper Canyon. And God bless all them people. We were already staged. We had equipment on the grounds. And the contractors, once again, I can't say enough. There were some very brave people to do what they did. And we had it beat until the South Fork fire was what we were getting runoff. And then the rains hit the Salt fire. And I'm sure many of you have seen the videos of the river that ran in front of K-Bob's in that area. So at that point, that's when we made the decision to cut the racetrack so that we wouldn't flood the north side of the track as it did in 2008. We'd already built berms to stop that. So, but we couldn't control what went around on that river onto the 6 furlong chute and down the backstretch of the thoroughbred. That was out of our control. So that forced us to cancel the race card on Sunday, June 30th. And the team was here working and just as quick as they could. And once again, on the morning of June 30th, which is the burn and the flood that I just reported, we were almost ready to put the cushion back on the track. And the flood came again. And that was worse than the first day. So, all that being said, we were able to save the majority of the racetrack, with the exception of the 6 furlong chute. And we've rolled a lot of the material off of the 6 furlong chute. And as we speak, we're completing the base course for the turn to get the cushion put back on the track. So things are going good as we speak. We've got 20 semi trucks hauling sand from Rio Grande. We had probably 1,000 plus yards already on the grounds, but we will get another. We got 18 loads yesterday, averaging about 20 yards. We'll be getting, I hope, around 60 more loads today that can do 3 turn rounds. And that'll help us get that turn repaired so we can be prepared to run the Zia, Futurity, and Derby trials, as well as the Rainbow, Derby, and Oaks trials this weekend.
Rick, one question is, who's the contractor you have out there?
I have 2. I have Tanner Irons and I have B&B, which is Dusty Beavers. They're both local contractors. And of course, our crew is working as well.
Yeah, I've seen videos of all that equipment out there and stuff. And what do they say about the culverts there? Where the river comes in, first to go into the track there. What's going to happen there?
Well, that's where the Army Corps of Engineer came in. Because since 1996, when the river was declared a freshwater fish hatchery, we've not been allowed to maintain the river and clean it. And since I returned to Ruidoso in 21, there's actually a dam. It's an acequia that, in the terms here, it's a weir that diverts water to the ranches downstream for irrigation purposes. And once we knew about the fires, then I talked to the USDA and they removed the dam to help relieve the head pressure on those culverts so that we'd have a better flow, which helped. It helped reduce flooding upstream until the Salt fire. But now the Army Corps has allowed the contractors to remove more of the sediment in the river. And of course, we have a lot of debris. I mean, Foxworth, Galbraith, Lumberyard come down to this racetrack. And I mean, we've got stuff everywhere. But they are EPA concerns, and there's a lot of issues that we've had to deal with all that. But to answer specifically your question about the culverts, we have another culvert as you first come in. It's a 16-foot culvert in the curve. Commissioner Smith and I were together when we got word that trailer houses were washing down the river, and we got an alert from upstream that a trailer was crossways in the river, and it was damming it off for us to be careful, because when the flow started hitting us, it was going to be massive. And we never saw the mobile home except for pieces of it, and they were correct when it did hit us. We had to go back in where we had cut the track the first time and dam it up instead of cutting the track, because our base course held relatively well. So we had about 60 yards of material that had been screened to be used for cushion that we had to use for a dam to keep that from going north and northeast around to the track. And that held, that worked as well. So there's been a lot of material removed from the river, a lot of just sediment, I guess you would say. It's like, a lot of burn scar, trees and everything you can imagine. But it's debris has been the biggest problem, is keeping the debris, because that's what would stop your culverts up, is debris.
See, that's what I was looking at. Are they planning to put in a multi-plate there in place of those culverts? Because if they had a multi-plate there, it'd be like your other 26-foot culvert, whatever it is, that water won't run right through there. And right now, when it's any kind of debris is going to block the culverts. I was just wondering if they're planning on replacing them.
Commissioner, I'm not an engineer. We've talked about it, and they wanted to start work now. And I told them if they wanted to get me shot to start, and that would take how long? And they said a month. And I said, that's a non-starter right now.
Did they say what they're going to replace it with, or what? Or did they give you plans on that?
No, sir. I mean, truthfully, every resource that's in this town and what they're having to deal with in this town as a whole, they're overwhelmed. Everybody's overwhelmed right now. I mean, you got the fires, and you got the 500 plus homes that were lost, and 1,400 total structures were lost in this area. So, I mean, it's something like has never, ever been seen in this valley.
Right. Yeah, that's devastating. For us up here, just watching it, it's devastating. I can't even imagine what you all are going through. That's awful.
Yeah, my team and the contractors, I can't say enough. We had 11 of our employees lost their homes, and the contributions that are coming in. Commissioner Smith, I gotta give him a great thanks. The foundation that he oversees gave us $50,000 to help assist our employees. And we gave each one of them $3,000 to get them started, thanks to their contribution. And now we found housing for our employees that lost their homes. The majority of them, or some of them, chose to move in with friends or family. And it's been something else around here, to say the least. Our foundation that we've had with the chaplaincy, we're approaching 200,000 that we're going to be able to turn over to the Lincoln County Community Foundation to help with the fires and the floods.
Okay, great. I'm glad everyone's helping there. That's what we need.
I've sent request for variance to this commission. So if Mr. Trejo, if you'd like to, at this time for me to request approval for the variance.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, yes, we do have letters that will be sent to Mr. Baugh. We did do verbal approvals as these disasters occurred, first with the fires, and then secondly, with the flooding. The racetrack is required to submit a variance when they don't comply with the number of race days that are required pursuant to the Gaming Control Act. Mr. Baugh did just that. So in your book, you will find two approvals for variances for all the cancellations that have occurred due to the issues in Ruidoso. I don't know that we want to approve them right now. We approve them right now. It says they're requested variances. Yeah. I mean,
We have them on book there.
should be under tab number 5.
That's what I'm looking at here.
Should be after the news articles. There should be 2 letters, myself, Mr. Baugh, and his requests.
Okay, here's one.
I think we should go ahead and approve them and then go back and what we're really here, I'm hearing the concern about the thoroughbred.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But I think we go ahead and approve this, get this out of the way. Because I think with public comment and all the situation with the thoroughbreds, it's going to take us some time.
Let's look at this here first.
Let's go ahead first. For the approval, son.
That's stand to get on?
Yeah.
I'm going to pull that, look at it.
Yes.
I stand to speak. Mr. Rubin, do you mind to chime in here if it's okay that the commission proceeds to approve the variances at this point in time? Based on the way the agenda is written, we did put approval in there.
Chairman Sanchez, members of the commission, it appears to me that the agenda is fine with what if you want to do that now. It looks like it would be under agenda item 9 as an action item, but you could move it up now and take care of it. There's no need for a closed session, that is all.
I believe the commissioners want to go into the closed session, so maybe we will halt there. We could always approve this at the next commission meeting on July 18th, commissioners, if we want to.
Yeah, because it's proving the financial rates that work. That the cats on one side. I mean, it's cut and dry stuff.
Yes.
What it is, folks.
I apologize, commissioners. I guess I jumped the gun here, but
Yeah.
stay on course as best we can.
Okay, I think we better stay on course. That way we won't mess up this agenda here. So we'll just stay on course on this, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we've done with A.
Yes, we're done with A, and B's taking care of itself to move on to, they've been approved is what we can say.
Okay.
We need to utilize that to go into executive session. Next would be C, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Okay, request of the course of action for reminder of race meet and light of current flooding and impending weather forecast.
I have a question for Rick about this situation. How long do you think it's going to take to repair to get thoroughbreds back running there?
The major issue that we've got with that is rain. The contaminants that are in the sludge that's on that 6 furlong chute, we have a plan. And instead of windrowing it, at this time, we're looking to bring in a paddle scraper to literally pick it up as it sets in place. And that's difficult to do with wet material. It can be done. I'm not saying it can't. If we can get some cooperation from Mother Nature, I would say 2 weeks. The material is screening really quickly. because it's coming from Oro Grande and it's dry as a bone, and which makes a huge difference in the screening process, because we're going to have to go down to the base on that 6 furlong chute and get all that off. As Commissioner, you've seen, it's devastated. It's really bad. But what we're planning on doing is removing the rail at the end of the chute so that we don't track any of these contaminants back onto the oval. And we can windrow what's on the running lane on the backstretch and get that off, but then we got to come back in with fresh sand to put that on as well. So it's a process that we're going through.
One more question. With that chute being in such bad shape, a horse gets loose. What's your plans to keep it from getting back into that area?
We've already put a berm in there. I met with Ricky Ramirez this morning. We took some of the material that was on the turn that we felt was contaminated, and we put a dirt wall across there, so if a horse gets loose, he cannot go down that 6 furlong chute. So Ricky's kind of the jock's rep, and he come down and met with us this morning, and he felt really good. I had some trainers there. Mike Jordan was there, Mark Brown was there, and other trainers, and they saw, and they all agreed that that was the best thing to do.
But you can't let the thoroughbreds train, but you can't let them work. That's what I'm hearing.
They can gallop, but at this time, I would caution against. I wouldn't. I just don't see works on that. I just don't feel like it's safe right now to work a horse on the back side of that thoroughbred track.
Well, we have this going in there, I think, with some equipment, and they're going to let us know, where we're at on this and all. When we get that report.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, I think it needs to be coordinated with the Redoso Downs and where they're at with the rebuilding of the track and resurfacing of the racetrack. And that's when the Racing Safety and Testing Laboratory would come in with their machines to make sure we got a good base. I think that's a concern with all involved, is to assure that the base has a lot of integrity in it. So we'll wait for that. But one question that I had for Mr. Baugh, potentially maybe to expedite things just a hair, I'm not sure if the horseman would agree to it, that maybe forego 6.5 furlong races or anything that breaks out of the chute and focus on the racing old to try to get that rehabilitated, and just run 5.5 furlongs or 5 furlong races as your longest distance. Just a thought, just for a temporary time.
The 5 furlong, Mr. Trejo, is right in the head of the chute, and it's contaminated really bad in there. We can do it in stages, but when you're applying that material back to that racetrack, that impedes the process of doing it, at one section and another section and another section. You've got to take it in layers and be able to blade it out for that cushion. I'm not too concerned after the water's running over the base the way they did. I'm not concerned about that as much as I am the cushion that is on the track now that we've got to get off down to the base, and then we can see what we've got to work with, and I can give you a better insight on the base itself. But I'm not too concerned about it right now because of what we saw that took all of the water running across it.
Mr. Trejo, could you explain to the public what this piece of equipment does that they're bringing in, and who the company is?
Yes, I think it's a very familiar name within the racing industry. It's the Racing Surfaces and Testing Laboratory. The head of that is a gentleman named Mick Peterson. Our racetracks are very familiar with what this machine does. It's a compression machine. It goes around and it has like a makeshift horse hoof that compresses a lot of pressure equivalent to a horse's running stride, and it gives a measurement reading. And what it can tell us is the consistency of the base at different points along the racetrack. So, for example, if the base was a little soft on the inside rail down the backside of the Ruidoso down to the Racing Oval, where the water went, it may have a reading that's 7, hypothetically speaking, and then away from that area where the water did not touch, it may be a 1 in hardness. So it measures that, and it gives us a good image of, do we have a consistent track throughout the Racing Oval, from the inside rail out, and from throughout the whole Racing Oval, forward and backwards.
So will they make a recommendation to us whether the track is worthy of even working it or galloping on it or anything? Because they're the experts at this. What do they do? They recommend this, or they recommend you cannot run horses on this part of the track or this or that, or what's the deal?
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, what they do, they will not go out on the ledge and say, you got a safe track, it's approved. What they'll do is give us the readings, and we can see whether it's consistent or not consistent. So I think all involved, especially jockeys and horsemen, be very concerned if we have a very inconsistent track, especially going into the clubhouse turn after a race. So if you're running on a pretty good base and then it gets a little soggy as the horses are pulling up and the horse is fatigued and it has a higher opportunity for a bobble there, and it's a different type of surface, it's a little softer, then that would be a concern. But
So they're not going to tell us if it's safe or not?
they'll give us industry standards, but all tracks are different. But I think if we saw a great variance in the readings, a layman can say, well, this track's not consistent. So what we're going to look for is consistency around it. That they make it simple for us to understand.
You ever used them before?
The tracks use them. Yeah, I think before each race meet, I believe Ruidoso use them. And so they're very familiar with what this machinery does. But it's as close to it's science, but I don't have a degree in science, animal science, but not that kind of science. But
Commissioners,
it's very useful tool.
I've been working with Mick Peterson since 2010, and his compaction testing and so forth, and his radar penetration testing and so forth, and Mick can definitely, and his team, guide you in direction and tell you what that base is like, and also we'll send materials off, and let him test that as well, so that we can get a report back from them. But the material that comes to Ruidoso Downs is indigenous to the area. It's the same material that's been on this racetrack forever. It comes from Oro Grande, but the base is something in that 6 furlong shoot that we've got to check on.
So the issue at this point is getting the thoroughbreds someplace that they can train.
Yeah.
We don't been working.
We'll have public comment. Everyone will have a good opportunity to share their minds.
Well, my comment would be, I got contacted by 19 different individuals. I counted them this morning, text or phone call, and the concern was a place to train and a place to run, because it's an economic impact for those folks, as everybody knows, and that was the concern. Like, I will comment that all 19 comments I got were very respectful, professional, and kind of like, I don't know what to do necessarily, but we need to do something to help the thoroughbred group. And the assumptions were that the quarter horses are going to be ready to run sooner than the thoroughbreds. But I had some concerns even prior to all this coming down about the number of thoroughbred races that were available in Ruidoso, and part of it's the way the schedule is. And I know, eventually that kind of balances out a little bit, but a lot of people went there and haven't been able to do much through the natural disaster things, and also the way the Ruidoso card is heavily front end loaded with thoroughbred trials and stuff like that. So I think their concerns were really what do we do? Where do we go? Because it's their livelihood. And I heard people talking about horses that went somewhere else and all that kind of stuff, which is all true. So a couple questions I have. How many horses do you have on the grounds now, Rick?
Oh, we're full. There were some that moved out. We got a few, so I'd say probably 1,600, something like that.
And what's your breakdown between thoroughbreds and quarter house? Do you know roughly?
Off the top of my head, Commissioner, since the fire, I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Okay. General idea, half and half, 2/3, 1/3?
No, I would say it's probably 60-40, maybe.
Okay.
A lot of quarter horses, overnight quarter horses that we're transitioning to. So it's just been a moving target since the fire started.
How many thoroughbreds on the backside, Rick?
I don't know.
Backside,
I couldn't tell you. Ever since
That's roughly the 40 of the 60, just ballpark number. So 40% of your horses are probably thoroughbreds there?
I'm guessing, yes, right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
40% thoroughbreds.
Yeah. And you said you were close to full, so that's a lot of thoroughbreds. And they haven't been many racing opportunities for those folks, and obviously everybody's been cut short now. So I think everybody I heard from was, what are we going to do, and when are we going to be back, or should we move? Quite honestly, the consensus of most people was, should we be looking at moving some of those thoroughbred race dates to Albuquerque? Do you have a plan? Do you have a plan to make up some of those lost days, or Albuquerque, and then of course purse money and all that kind of stuff? So that was kind of what feedback I got. I didn't get any real answers, but I got a lot of questions involving those things, and I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on some of those things.
Commissioner, we had already, before the flood started, requested approval to run 12 races a day. And then the flood started. And ever since the floods, we've just been trying to get this thing put back together, put the wheels back on the bus. So, to answer your question, I mean, I'm still battling monsoon here. And it's impractical to think that you can put a racetrack surface back down when you're battling those monsoons. It would be more than difficult. Not saying it can't be done, and not saying that we won't try, because we will. But it's going to be tough. We need some cooperation from Mother Nature, truthfully.
Well, really, monsoon season is just now supposedly starting, right?
Right.
No, absolutely. And with the burn scars, we're experiencing things that this area has never seen before, ever.
Well, I guess that would conclude me to reach a conclusion. I'm not very optimistic that that thoroughbred track's going to be available to run, and so that prompts a whole new series of questions. What do we do? What do we do now? Because our thoroughbred guys and our quarter horse guys, if we don't get that plan, they'll all be in a pretty tough situation.
Everybody's in a tough situation for sure. But for example, this morning, I got a call from Oro Grande, where we get the sand from, and it's a county operation. Well, their equipment's broke down, and I've got 20 trucks sitting there waiting to be loaded. My point is, there's hurdles that are happening every day that you got to jump through these hoops, and all the agencies that we're dealing with and so forth. But I made it very, very clear that our focus is on this racetrack, to these agencies, and that we've got to go, and that we're doing everything we can to go. And my contractors are staying. I mean, they're just staying here all the time and working. and that's our intention. But I can't control Mother Nature. That's beyond my control.
Yeah, and I certainly accept and appreciate everybody's doing everything they can, but as your point, it may be out of your control, what happens. So I guess what I'm wondering, what if it isn't the perfect scenario? What then type of thing. And I know it's not easy to just say, okay, we're going to move a race meet, because I'm sure Albuquerque's not ready to do that right away. Even if they could, they can't really, even if they wanted to. And I don't know what their situation is, but you can't just
Let me ask,
move tomorrow and run this weekend.
yeah, let me ask you a question. So most of the gate crew, all the stewards, probably the racing secretary, no, probably, no. I don't know if she goes out there. She might, but all the people that work in Ruidoso go to each track, most of them, right? How are we going to staff 2 tracks? How are we going to do that? We don't have it. We don't have the people.
I mean, I can't say we don't have it. I mean, we have in the past.
Well, and isn't going to answer that question.
I know that, but I'm just telling you, we have in the past. And this is an emergency thing here. So we got to look at it like an emergency. I mean, we have to get stored different kinds of, different storage or whatever we have to do. There's people we can move up to be stewards. You see, and then gate foods the same way, all this stuff. I mean, all this can happen, but it's an emergency. We have to treat it as an emergency. I think we have to. I think we have to have a plan. Absolutely, but that's it's treated like an emergency. Bottom line, I agree with you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Smith, Commissioners, if that plan was to be put in place, this agency would do whatever it could to staff another race meet at another location. Yes, it would be difficult, but, we have the utilization rules of utilizing substitute stewards.
Right.
I do have one steward that's in the state that's taking a little break. He'd be willing to come back and work, and I could pull one vet off of Ruidoso and bring them up here to work. Plus, I got another one in Tucson that I would probably have access to. We'd have to ask a handful of people if they're willing to do it. But we would do our best, as I'm sure anyone would try to do, to try to keep this industry going. But as far as gate people, assistant starters, and ballots, that's where you run into some heavier issues. Those guys don't grow on trees anymore, and so I know safety has to be kept in mind, especially with the assistant starters. The jockeys and horsemen like to have someone on their horse's head, so you just can't put greenhorns in there. But there's maybe some people in the barn area that are willing to move, being a gallop boy and work at night as a assistant.
Theoretically, how long would it take Albuquerque to get ready to run a race meet?
Well, I'm
Purpose and everything.
probably not a good question for me to answer, but I'm told a few weeks.
Don?
Well, I came here to listen and not to speak. People's livelihoods are at stake, and I sure would not want to lead anybody on.
I agree.
I've never done this question from you, Commissioner, ever. As soon as
Every day.
like you, is tomorrow, latest Friday. I'll talk to Paul and come up with some type of answer for you. It's obviously no one's fault this happened, but now it's everybody's problem. So,
Okay, I want to tell you what I'm hearing from different people. It costs about $35,000 a day to run a race meet.
that's correct.
Okay, that's a track.
That's correct.
Who's going to pay that? We don't know. Okay, Mr. Ball, how much percentage of your thoroughbred entries come from Albuquerque. A lot of people enter here and take on Ruidoso to run the thoroughbreds specifically. What percentage come from here? Do you have any idea? I mean, you got him on.
He's muted. Unmute. Rick, can you hear us? I can't hear you. Not yet.
There you go.
There you go.
You got
Okay. Did you get the question?
Take your question again, Commissioner.
What percentage of your entries come from Albuquerque for thoroughbreds?
Oh. Donnie, you got about 300 head there.
I'm gonna guess probably 15%.
I'll say 10 or 15%, but in knowing what Donnie's got to go through, and there again, if Mother Nature cooperates, I think we can be back in business quicker than we can put everybody through these hoops. But there again, if HISA can come in and do their analysis on the track with Mick Peterson and so forth, and we get that timely, then I truly do. By the time you round everybody up and get all these positions, it's going to be tough on Albuquerque, but I'm not the commission.
The thing is, that's Mother Nature. Mother Nature's a wild card from the scene. We don't know what Mother Nature's going to do. So she comes in next week and floods you out again. Then we're back to say step one on this thing. And I think we know that Albuquerque's not going to get flooded out. I mean, and I think we need to concentrate on this. Is an emergency here. I think these poor thoroughbred people, they need to run. They just can't sit back and do nothing. I mean, they have to run somewhere. Okay, so listen. No, wait, I'm talking. No, okay, go ahead. Sheesh. We have to take care of this industry, and this industry, the thoroughbreds are part of this industry. It's not just quarter horses. So we have to look. They're not right now able to run in Ruidoso. Mother Nature is the wild card there. If we have another big rain or something, is going to do the same thing over again and all this stuff. So I think we have to be prepared and at least try to get this Albuquerque going, to get these thoroughbreds going. I mean, that's our job. That's what we have to do, not rely on this, that, and we don't know what Mother Nature is going to do. But if she does, Bill, we are going to be in trouble again. And then no one's going to be running. Again, it's the same thing. So I think as a commission, we can request Albuquerque to try, give us something, at least some kind of timeline, what it take for you to get the track work. That way we have something in our back pocket here to do something. Because if it happens again, we're messed up. We can do that.
Then the whole industry's messed up.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Quarter horses ain't going to run either.
And they'll run. They can come out pretty too. I mean, that's where it's at. If you're going to open up the meat, I mean, it is what it is. Let's treat it as an emergency. Let's don't just treat it. This is a special emergency meeting, isn't it? Yeah, emergency public meeting. That's what it's about. Okay, don't laugh about it. You think
I'm not laughing. What I'm saying, we have to have a cooperation about.
I understand that. I just told them that. I mean, they know that, but we have to do that. That's our job. Albuquerque, can you please put something together, see where we're at, some kind of timeline, what's it going to cost, how this is going to happen. I mean, we have to work together on this, together with Ruidoso, Albuquerque, and see who's going to pay for what, whatever, and go from there. I mean, I got to do something. We just can't stop racing.
Yeah, I think we definitely need a backup plan.
We do.
More than one plan, and that one plan is, I hope it works out, but just crossing your fingers seems to be a little.
Yeah, that wild card's out there that no one knows what's going to happen. We no one knows. But if it does happen, we're in trouble again. And we start all over again.
I think
We should have done this, we should have done that.
I think we're in trouble right now.
Yeah. And let's at least look at it. And I'm just asking, look at it. I mean, whatever you guys think, and if it's possible, we can do it. If it's not possible, we can't do it. But at least we have to look at that. We have to actually look at it. Let's just go from there and see what happens. That's the best we can do. That's what we're all about here. Just asking these people to work together and look at it and say, well, it's feasible, it's not feasible. It costs too much, or so on and so forth. And let's try to work money around, or do this or do that. See what we can do.
The deal is up to Albuquerque.
I know that. That's what I'm saying.
If they ain't working out, they will.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Let's do that. But we all have to work together. And this is an industry problem. It's not just a Ruidoso problem. This industry, we're in charge of this industry. Let's try to get it going and keep it going.
We're the regulators,
No,
not in charge.
Yes, we are. As regulators, we're in charge. Yes.
Okay.
Anything else, Red?
I can just assure you, am I muted?
No, you're not muted.
I can assure you, we're gonna bust our tails, and we have been, and we're gonna continue to do so.
It's just a wild card. It's something that we can't control. That's the whole thing. But we have to have some kind of backup plan in case that happens again. And if you get your track going, so be it. We'll run it. I mean, it's no problem. But if you don't, Mother Nature comes and messes up again. Then we have to have something there to make it work.
I feel so much better now since that river is debris free, and the work that has gone on and the way the flows. We received some rain here last night, and Commissioner Smith's been right here and seen it. We got the river self-cleaned a lot with the massive amount of water that went down it, which hasn't happened in quite some time. But all I can do is tell you we're working as hard as we can, and we'll do everything we can to get it done.
I don't think anyone doubts that at maximum effort. I think, as Ossie said, there's beyond everybody's control. We don't know.
I'm sure Rick doesn't. He agrees with everybody here that we need a backup plan, and he understands that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And we just have to put West on Albuquerque, looks like to me.
Just ask them. I mean, we're human beings here. Just talk about it. See if they can work with us and try to get this thing going. We have a problem that we need to solve. And I just hope Rick can get this thing done. I know they're trying. They're working really hard at this, but we have the wild card here. The wild card decides it's going to do something. It's going to do something. So we have to have something in place to try to get this thing, keep it going, and make this thing right. We just gotta leave these people out there, can't.
We don't have any intention of doing that. That's what we're talking about.
Absolutely. But that's what I'm saying, that we just do that. I don't mind. Anything else? Rick, do you have anything else there?
No, sir. I don't.
Okay, let's move on to item C, Executive Director Report.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, obviously a lot to think about this matter. And I applaud everyone for having an interest in showing up here at this meeting to show their concerns. Appreciate the commissioners being available within a 24-hour notice period. It shows that everyone cares, and that's real important. I think we're all in this together, try to get this industry continuing. A lot of hard work to be done, a lot of thinking to be done. I just want to let everyone know that the agency's received an outpouring of thoughts and prayers from several other regulators, different racing organizations, industry stakeholders. So there's a lot of good thoughts for everyone in this room till we make it. They care about us, and I think that's been a real silver lining to this. You know, we commend Reduce Downs for probably working 24 hours around the clock to get this thing.
Absolutely.
Racing is important here, especially the Reduce Downs model. Depends on live racing. Got to get that facility up and running again. I think the thought's wise to have a backup plan. And, you know, if Albuquerque or another jurisdiction can come through on that's fantastic. I understand it's a big lift and a big ask, but nonetheless, at least we're here talking about it. That's good. You know, Albuquerque's always been there for the horsemen. For my time here, for the most part, they've bent over backwards to help them. So, certainly not saying that to put any pressure at all, but nonetheless, I know their hearts, and they've always been there for this industry. So, you know, I'm glad I'm surrounded by good people to get through this together. So, thank everyone for this time here coming today.
Ultimately, the welfare of the horse is the most important thing here. We don't want no horse getting hurt, and that's the big thing here. So that's why we're here. We're here to speak with horses and take care of it. Okay, that's it.
We'll do public comments.
Yes, but that's okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, now we move on to number 7, public comment. Our public comment is going to be held in 3 minutes. And you'll be cut off at 3 minutes. No matter what you're saying, you're going to be cut off. Believe me, that's the way it works. 3 minutes, done. In the middle of a sentence, you're done.
Want to do in-house first, and then we'll go to the Zoom?
Absolutely.
Make sure to state your name, so that's for the record, state your name and your association, okay?
Let's make sure they sign the public comment.
They did sign.
Everyone did? Anyone that's going to speak has to sign this so we can have it. Okay.
Commissioner, maybe they should step up to the microphone. That way we got everything clear.
And public comment will come right up here. Anyone to speak? Oh, wait, we'll call you. We'll call you up. If you're number 1, we'll call you. Okay. Call them up. We call this.
And this is the table, this is the mic that you would sit at. And I'll be keeping time, okay, folks?
All right. I'm going to be really strict on that time, though. Because we have to.
The first one is Jose A. Gonzalez.
Come up here. You have to get in front of us and show up here. There you go. Oh, he's a buddy over here.
My concern is the training part in the thoroughbred.
Ruidoso,
Yeah. How long we can keep those horses in the store, and then when we can start galloping, and then if we not be able to work, you know, it's hard to keep a thoroughbred without work. That's not healthy for the horse, and it's actually sometimes can be dangerous. I mean, horses when they have to be working on a regular basis, and I'm worried about all our people there. You know that we have to survive somehow. I mean, it's a tough situation. I mean, and during the fire, this is the sad part. Almost everybody from the quarter horse, they leave the track. We take over the thoroughbred bars. And now we be the ones not be able to race.
Able to work.
Yes.
There's no. Are there any facilities close by that you can take your horses and work them?
Well, I guess the closest is to La Rosa, is Capo Training Center, so being to Albuquerque.
I think that's just I'm sure the quarter horses that went out there, they want some kind of facility to work. I mean, you have to work a horse. I understand that, but right now, the way that track is, you're able to work.
And Ruidoso, I mean, I'm in Ruidoso, my horses are there, and they work really hard. I can tell you, I mean, day and night, they try hard.
There.
And they was really good with us, the people that stay there during the fire. So it's just, that's my concern.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, thank you so much. We'll keep that in mind there.
Next, we have Victor Escobar Senior.
Used to be a jockey.
Victor, how are you?
Yes, well, yes, I know that we all praying for Ruidoso to get back on their feet and they get everything back on place, but we're also concerned about all the thoroughbred people. And we all need to make a living. Like I have two thoroughbred riders, if they don't make any money, I don't. Everybody needs to survive, which is kind of concerned. And my priority is the thoroughbred racing.
Understand that. Are your two horses down at Ruidoso now?
I'm a jockey agent.
Oh, you're a jockey.
Yeah,
Two thoroughbred jockeys.
yeah. I got jockeys, thoroughbred jockeys, and that's that's cool.
Well, we're gonna do our harness.
And we like to survive. I mean, we love Ruidoso Downs. It's one of the greatest racetracks, and
Oh, yeah.
we appreciate the efforts. I know that they work in 24/7, and we wish them the best. And yeah,
As do we, but the thing is, we have to have some kind of black plan.
right.
Not just
And and I know
we don't know.
we're locals in Albuquerque, and Mr. Cook and all these Albuquerque always help us with everything. They open the truck to train year around, and they're great. So keep them in mind.
Sure will.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We have Jay Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Commissioners, my name is Jay Taylor. I'm president of the board of directors of the New Mexico Horse Breeders. I want to make it clear that we have not had time to meet on this and form an opinion officially from the horse breeders, so I'm speaking on my own behalf. I want to commend Rick and their job that they're trying to do to get the track ready there. But I think it's a mistake to have all our eggs in one basket. I think there needs to be the plan that you were talking about of having the races in Albuquerque, at least having them someplace else. There's no control of the weather, just like you said. So plan A may not work for everybody. Hopefully they can make it work. We need to run the quarter horses in Ruidoso. And one of the reasons we need to run it there is we need the futurity trials during the sale weekend. That brings out the crowd for the sale. Without the futurity trials, our sale's going to be in trouble. But we could run there and in Albuquerque. Albuquerque could get ready for it. You're only talking about getting ready early. They would normally be starting, a month and a half later anyway, if they can get this going. So I don't see a lot of added cost for them. And another thing I might bring up is they could run like Friday and Saturday at one track and Sunday and Monday at the other and share crews and resources. So I think there's options out there, and I think we need to come up with that alternate plan, because a week from now it would be too late to say, oh, we need another plan.
Agreed. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Mr. President, you said you came to listen, not to talk, but you're on the list. Do you want?
Chairman Don Cook with the Downs at Albuquerque.
Trouble now.
We'll try to get back with you tomorrow, or later than Friday. Thursday being a holiday.
We appreciate that. I mean, just think about it, talk to Paul, see what you could come up with. And
I'm not here to spread doom and gloom, get a race made. Open it's tough. Like I said, I'll get back with you tomorrow, Friday at the latest, okay?
we understand that. We really appreciate you looking at it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Odell Shaw.
There you go. Thanks to go here now.
I'm only fifth, that's okay. Well, what I was thinking of the whole situation is,
if we could get off of Ruidoso and just move it into Albuquerque or where we could run there, give Ruidoso time to fix their track proper, you know, and they're not in a rush and get racing going ahead again. We can run quarter horses, we can run thoroughbreds here. It's a little inconvenience for everybody, but at least we got a track that's already open and running and training right now. And I think it'll set everybody better off. Ruidoso will be better off. They're not there with everybody in their way to work on the track. They can get their job done. Things happen all over the world. It's just not Ruidoso. And it's horses that we're concerned about. We raise our own babies. We don't want to send one down, get it on the track, and then we have a failure right there. You know, it's too much at stake all the way around. And I think if we can get things in hand, Ruidosos can work, we can work, everybody else can work, trainers, owners, breeders, and all at one point, and then get Ruidosos straightened up, and there's still another meet coming, you know, for another year. I mean, but Albuquerque's always been here for us on our backbone all the time, training. When the tracks are running, Albuquerque's here still letting everybody train. And I think that's number one concern, just keep training and just get Ruidoso, let them get their work done, and then there's another year coming next year, the meet will go on.
The one thing we have is the cost.
Cost.
Yes, to run race days costs a lot of money.
Right, I agree.
That's the cost. So that's a logistics that Ruidoso has to work out with Albuquerque. Well, but that's their thing.
Well, I think too, you know, you got purse money up there. I think there's a lot of purse money around.
Well, but that purse money, we could use the purse.
That's right. Take part of it off the top.
No, but we have to look at it. I mean, because there's a lot more involved here than that. We just can't go get first money.
No, you have to all come to an agreement how it's going to work out.
But
I mean, it's difficult. There's laws. I understand.
And so we have to look at all that.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we want all the ideas you have. And something might come out of it.
That's right, yeah.
And that's why you're here. We agree with that.
See if we can put it all together.
Absolutely.
So that's how I feel about it. Go on.
Sure, try.
Yeah, I sure appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
What is Junior?
My name is Alfredo Juarez. I just come same thing with the jockeys. We've been working for almost a month just because the fire first and then the flooring now. So we just stop. Quarter horses start running, thoroughbreds we stop. And that's the only issue that we have, like what we're gonna do if the tracks who have 2 days, 3 days in Ruidoso, the 2 days in Albuquerque, an option. I mean, we have to scout them, see if we can do something about it, but it's just been a mess. And then the first money they want to release, they say they're only going to do it to the owners. We qualify the horses and we did our job. We've been working those horses for 5 months. And I mean, we don't take anything so far. It's the only thing we can in agreement with everybody and see how they work.
And that's why we're here to get ideas from you all and stuff. Yes.
Did you have a horse qualify for that thoroughbred fraternity?
Yeah, I have actually qualified 2 horses in that race.
Did you understand what their intentions are?
Well, I heard the intention was they're going to release the money, but to the owners. And
Well,
if they
I think the owners had the responsibility to take care of the trainer and the jockey.
okay,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Just asking like what it is going to be.
We're going to divide it up evenly for each horse that qualified. And it's somewhere over $15,000, but they have to take care of the owners.
And the first.
No, the owners have to take care of the trainers and the jockeys. It's up to the owners. They're the ones who get the money. But they have to take care of the trainers and the jockeys. That's the way it works.
Should be.
Should be. But you have an owner.
Right? I mean, like I said, we've been working those babies, well, especially the other ones, for like 5 months since in El Paso. And you get there, you get a big weekend, and then everything went bananas. So,
yeah, so you can't control Mother Nature.
I know. But that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Valerio?
Good afternoon. I'm Raymond Valerio. I'm a trainer and owner. And I came pretty much hoping that I would hear what I actually heard today. I know I just came from Mendoza this morning. I know that they're working diligently on that track. They've done a really good job. Those guys are really good. But like Ozzy, you hit the nail on the nail on the head. They can't control it. And monsoon season just started, and I don't see how we're going to complete that meet, honestly. I've seen it. I saw the fire. I was there. I saw the flooding, and it is crazy. So yes, we are looking for Plan B, and I'm hoping that Donnie will take us into consideration, of course, because this is our livelihood now. I taught school for 27 years, but this is my livelihood now. I love it. So I'm hoping that everyone will, do the best they can, and I know you are. And it's just that it's our livelihood, and we're looking for, my owners are desperately asking every day what's going on and everything, and what do you do? We can't control it. We just can't control things. So hopefully it'll all come to a good ending. And I thank you guys for.
All we can do is suggest to output towns and Riddle.
Exactly.
And see if it works out. But if it don't work out, I just and see. Right. That's what we can do.
Exactly.
And maybe there's a little bit of hope, but you never know.
Exactly. That's our hope.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Mr. Chairman, that's all that I marked, but there were some latecomers that signed this sheet. Is there anybody in the audience who'd like to speak? Mr. Sanchez, Philip Sanchez?
He's on that person. Okay.
I got it already. Thanks for having me up. Yeah, Phil Sanchez. I own 3 thoroughbreds, 2-year-old fillies, ready for the San Rita trials, and I appreciate all the work that Ruben does. Some prayers go out to the community out there for Mr. Bond and all his team. I appreciate just listening in. I like the backup plan that you guys are proposing to look into. I really appreciate that. The biggest thing I hear from our trainers is that the lack of training days, because they're athletes. And if they can't exercise, then you run into a risk with being injured. And I know you guys probably heard about ISA. If you don't have your horse working out for a certain amount of time, that's a red flag for them. So as thoroughbred owners with horses that can't work out, then we run into a problem where we have to request a waiver. I don't even know what that procedure is. But I appreciate you guys looking into a backup plan. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you so much. Anyone else, sir? Get up and state your name. Get up here, please.
Hi, good morning, Commissioner. Good afternoon. My name is Joy Marlin, and I'm an owner, trainer, and wife of Thoroughbred Guild Rep jockey. I think our biggest concern too is kind of what he just said, is that without us being able to work our horses, if we keep waiting to see what Mother Nature does or doesn't, we're going to be another week behind and another week behind, because you just can't jump in and say, oh, we're going to enter when already we've been sitting 3 weeks. I myself and as my husband, we live in Reynosa. 2 nights ago, we had to stay in a hotel because of the flood. 3 nights before that, we had to stay in a tack room because we couldn't go home. This is an everyday thing. So instead of waiting to see what Mother Nature does, I'm more concerned when you say backup plan, how quickly you can implement it and how long do we have to wait before you say, okay, enough is enough. I realize I would not want to be in Rick Bob's place.
Or Donnie.
Or Donnie.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I'm living it. But I have a bottom line too. And how do I convince my owners to keep the horses there? How do I survive? There's no other viable racetrack within 1,000-mile radius. And I see there's been a lot of concern for the quarter horses. I'm a horseman and foremost, quarter horse thoroughbred. And the safety, my concern too, I don't know how you can disassociate that it's safe for quarter horse, but not for the thoroughbred, or vice versa. And my husband's out there. You can replace a horse, although I don't like that. I wouldn't, no, but you can't replace human life. And what's going to happen if you say, oh gosh, we shouldn't have rushed this? So that we've always run, up until last year, Albuquerque's run a meet against Ruidosa, we have different crews. There are different gate crews. Ringo is starter in the Northern Circuit. What Donnie's doing for us is incredible, even offering or trying to offer. But, expeditiously is better than not just waiting to see what Mother Nature is doing. Because I'm going to tell you, even last night, we had rain, big bolts of lightning. Everybody, I live right across the street from school where FEMA and State Farm and all the services, and it's jam-packed. And it's scaring me to death that I'm going to be the next one in line and go broke.
We understand that. That's why I keep on emphasizing we have to treat this as an emergency.
Absolutely.
Because it is. It's an emergency.
Absolutely.
Let's treat it that way. We have to. That's why we have an emergency meeting.
Like I said, my big concern is that it seems to be more of a concern, and I understand why. There's two big races that are quarter horse races, but we still are, as thoroughbred people, the backbone of the everyday. When August leaves, we'll still be here in the state. We're not going to leave to Texas. We're not going to Oklahoma, where the bulk of the horses that run in these two big races come from. So we'd like to have a fair shot.
Okay. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Yeah. No? Let's go to the monitors here and see who raised their hands or what. They have to, you have to identify them or something, whatever.
First one is an iPad, so whoever's on this iPad is going to have to identify.
They have to identify themselves.
Members of the commission, Chairman Sanchez, it is not necessarily a requirement that someone identify themselves.
Well, I want them to.
I know you want them to, Chairman.
Yes.
But if they just want to talk for 3 minutes and no one knows who they are, I think in abundance of caution, let them do that.
There's that. We just want to know who we're talking to. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it unless you say you can't talk.
I never did say that. I never did say. All I said is identify yourself, so I can know who we're talking to. That's all I said.
Okay.
Okay.
If the person that is the iPad can please begin speaking and hopefully identify themselves, or take your hand down. Okay, it looks like the person who is an iPad is not responding. It may just be someone who left their iPad on. So there was one other raised hand, Chairman.
Okay, well, she's Kentucky. She's taking care of that here.
Okay, Mr. Luis Rodriguez.
Okay, there you go.
Could you please unmute yourself?
Hi, hi everyone. I am Jackie Thoroughbred. I'm sorry, my English sometimes don't look very well, but I try the best. My question is about the Jackie's Thoroughbred. We don't make money in the morning. I know, I understand it's hard time for everyone, The situation is why you guys want or try to do for the Jackie's Thoroughbred. We need to pay bills, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, very hard for the Jackies, we got family, That's my question. Why you guys can't do it for the Jackies?
Get races going for jockeys and the whole industry. The jockeys are part of this industry.
Because we don't racing for thoroughbred racing, we don't got racing, we don't make money, We don't got like salary, we don't room, we don't make money,
Understand that. We're trying to work this out amongst everyone. It takes the whole group to work this out. I mean, we all have to work together on this thing. It's not one person doing this. So we're really trying. We're trying. That's why this emergency meeting, we're trying to get this thing done.
Yeah. The only try to say, please don't forget, the Jackies, thoroughbred Jackies, is you guys have to understand everyone, every Jackie got family, we got children, I'm talking about everyone from the thoroughbred Jackies, because quarter horses, they keep going, they keep make money, so not for Thoroughbred, you know. I'm sorry for my English, that's it.
Okay, but we're looking into everything, and everyone's part of this industry. So we really are.
Thank
Our
you.
hearts are here, okay? Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
I iPad again. I lowered the hand and
Say it again?
they raised it again. So the person with the iPad needs.
iPad person? Hello, hello, hello. There's no one there. Let's go on next. And maybe they'll raise their hand again. I don't know what else to do.
It's raised right now.
Well, they're not responding.
Yeah.
They don't want to respond. We can't do nothing.
Sandra McKenna.
Sandra, you there?
Tom McKenna.
Hey, who we got here?
McKenna.
Tom?
Tom McKenna.
Okay, hold on a second. I can't hear you. Hold on, Tom. Say, Stephen, let's see if I can hear you there. That better? Okay. Donuts. Oh, hold on, Mr. McKenna. We're trying to get this thing taken care of here.
Okay.
We vote for these. That will make him sound louder?
No, I brought him up. Okay, louder.
He wants you to speak.
Okay. Tom McKenna. Can you hear me?
No, not yet. Hold on. We're working on it. Hold on a second. Your time hasn't started yet.
That's as loud as it'll go. So that's as loud as
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Ask him to speak up as loud as he can.
Can you raise your volume up or speak up more or something, sir? We're as loud as we can go here.
Can you hear me? Tom
Barely hear you.
I don't know where to speak.
Well, I don't know how to adjust this thing, but if you
Okay, look, we'll just.
Can you hear me?
We cannot hear you now.
Mr. McKenna,
Yes, ma'am.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here's a fact that I think everybody should consider. Thoroughbred horses, quarter horses, doesn't make any difference what horse. You cannot leave these horses in the stall day in and day out, or they're going to get sour, and they're going to get injured when they finally do get out. These horses need to be training right now that you've got Ruidoso, and they're not training. And this can go on. It's got to stop, and stop right now. I've got 22 horses on the track. I'm one of the largest thoroughbred owners in this state and have been for 15 years. And this is a comedy. We've got Albuquerque. Donnie said that they will try and accommodate the horses. We need to move these thoroughbred horses immediately from Ruidoso to Albuquerque and propose a 2-day-a-week thoroughbred meet at Albuquerque and then again run the quarter horses at Ruidoso. But this needs to happen quickly. The second thing that's going to happen, if this doesn't happen, is you're going to begin to lose owners right and left. It costs $2,400 at least a month to keep horses on the track. If you got them sitting out here shelling out $2,400 with no return at all, they're going to get tired of this business real quick. So we better not kick the can down the road. We better take action, and we better take action right now for the benefit of the horses and the owners. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Next.
Should we try the iPad?
Try the iPad again.
iPad user, you're unmuted. Please state your name.
iPad? Hello? Just listening in?
Well, just let him talk, even if he doesn't.
Well, no, he's not talking, no. We're letting him talk.
Just say talk.
Say that. Okay, let's go next. And wait.
That is all the hands I see. Chairman, there was one person that just walked in and asked if she could speak.
Yes, she can. We'll accommodate all that. Just sit down over here. You have to speak to that microphone there. Everyone wants to hear you.
Okay. My name is Brenda Roundsville, and my husband and I, he's recently passed away, but we were in this business a long, long time, and we bred, trained, broke, raised thoroughbreds, and it's been a big part of our life, still a big part of my life, and I have horses at the track, and I agree they need to be trained. They need somewhere where they can exercise, and it's just devastating what Mother Nature's done, but we need to try to accommodate the thoroughbred people if possible. And I think it's real important to this state. I can remember when Raton ran, same time Ruidoso, Santa Fe, and it just seemed like we had better racing and better horses at the time and better owners because they could afford to be in it. And now people are getting out right and left because it's almost unaffordable. And, you know, Ruidoso, there's reasons I know cutting down to 3 days, and it seems like all the tracks are racing less and less, and it's more expensive to keep them. But when you have a passion, you have the passion. And I have it, and my husband had it, and my son actually got killed on the racetrack because it was a family thing. And, you know, he worked starting gates and he got killed in Hialeah. And, you know, but I don't want to see horses that just can't do anything, that are fit and ready. And I think we need the thoroughbreds.
We definitely do, and we share your pain.
I know.
We do. That's why we're here.
I know.
We're trying to get this thing done. And I appreciate you speaking.
Certainly.
Let's see what we can do.
What was your son's name?
My son was Kenneth Moore. He worked on the starting gates, Farmington and Albuquerque, and then they would go to Hialeah for a few weeks in the wintertime when they weren't working here, and a horse slipped in the gate with him and he had a massive head injury, and he was on life support for 9 days, and it was rough.
I remember.
Yeah. He was a good kid. He loved this business, and he was my right hand. I trained horses up until then, and I tried 3 or 4 years after that, but I lost my best friend, my son, and my best hand. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay, let's yes.
We got one hand raised,
Okay.
right? And then we have a written comment that was submitted.
Okay, let's set the other hand first, then we'll go on to written.
Okay.
Hello?
Please unmute yourself. Joel?
Can you hear me?
Yep. Okay.
This is Joel Meyer.
Okay.
And
Welcome.
I think a lot of people are having trouble that are on their cell phones getting their hands up. I know Flacco can't find a deal on his cell phone to get it done where he can get unmuted. I don't know if there's anything that can be done about that, but I think that's the problem with several of them. But back to the issue, it's just imperative for the not just thoroughbreds, but quarter horses, all the horses, that they get back to training as soon as possible. I know they're working very hard to get that done, but we also need a little guidance on heads up on when that's going to be. horses that are walking for, they've been 3 days now, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and then you're going to expect them to run on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, albeit quarter horses, but it really doesn't matter. An athlete can't sit around, whether it's a horse or a human, and then be asked to perform to their peak performance after having no exercise. It's unhealthy, it's unsafe, it's not what we do to our equine athletes. So that's first and foremost. And then the racing part is also very important. As Mr. McKenna stated, I mean, the owners can't hang on if we're not racing. And I know, we're working on getting that done, but it's been a real hard road with the flood, the fire, COVID, the loss of 100 racing days over the past few years. And we've only run 2 thoroughbred races per race day at Ruidoso thus far. So, the thoroughbred industry in the state is teetering on disaster. And as we've heard before, many have left. My jockey that rides most of my horses called me this morning. He's going to Canterbury until something happens. I mean, they have to make a living. And every time something happens in New Mexico, people leave, and we've lost many horsemen. When I say horsemen, that's all of us. That's owners, trainers, jockeys, breeders, the hay farmer, the guy that gets your grain from, the horseshoer, the veterinarian. That's all of us. We're all in it together. So when I say horsemen, I mean everybody. And, the breeder doesn't get a check. The stallion owner doesn't get a check. The owner doesn't get a breeder's award if the horse is not running. That's how this thing goes. That's how what makes racing go round, is to run your horses. And if it means we've got to go to Albuquerque, if they will let us, and if it works out, then we need to get it done. If it means that Ruidoso can get going and get back online and give thoroughbreds the opportunity, then let's get it done. But these people need a little guidance and need some answers, and we need them quick. And first and foremost, for the safety of the horse. They've got to get out of the stalls and got to train.
Totally agree.
Is that it? Thank you.
Time is up.
Thank you, sir.
On Beach.
Oh, Mr. Beach.
Mr. Beach, unmute yourself.
Done.
Mr. Beach, unmute yourself.
Unmute.
There you go.
We do, okay. I to thank Rick Bob for all he's doing over there. He's in a bad position, and we've had a lot of discussion on safety for horses and jockeys, and my concern with all that debris that has sifted down in that, will the ambulances at the racetrack have sufficient room to move around to get, in case God forbid some jockey gets hurt, to transport him to the hospital? That was my question.
What was the question again?
Will there be enough for the ambulances with all that debris around and everything to get a jockey, if he goes, get him to transport him to the hospital?
I'm sure there will, but I'm sure the track owners will take all this into account and make sure it does, because that's part of their job. As long as they do the job, we're going to be fine.
Okay, well, that's all I wanted to check on. And
okay.
Thank you for your...
Thank you, sir.
My iPad is up again.
Let's try the iPad. Just say going, gone here. That's probably Flaco.
iPad user, you're unmuted.
Beat. Or forever fools.
Hello?
Maybe you just find my old shit.
Sorry about that.
Since we can't get them, we'll just move on, I guess.
No, let's get the.
We have to read one.
Let's read that. Please set that for us.
Commissioners, this was a text message sent to AC Trejo from Brian Mondragon this morning, 8:49 a.m. And the message says, "Hey Izzy, I know it's none of my business, but if there is a chance for the meet to move to the Downs at Albuquerque, that would drive substantial amount of revenue from now until October, something we haven't seen at the Downs in a really long time. I am fearful of the longevity and health of the track surface at Ruidoso. All we need is one horse to break down and then blame it on that. Then we have lawsuits. That's a risk we should not take as a racing community. Both owners and the two tracks can come, if both owners and the two tracks can come to an agreement, it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. You have to keep our race and avenue to continue business. If there is anything I can assist with or help with, please let me know."
So that's it. No more. Commissioner Bob, Commissioner Elfington, would you like to take us and join closed session, please?
I think Ms. Marlin.
Yes.
Just a suggestion, unfortunately, my husband and I have been through disaster with racetrack and maybe consider it as a model on how to get, cookies.
Could you stand up, please?
Wanted to do that when Katrina hit, we were in Louisiana.
Okay.
We were running at the fairgrounds, fairground was underwater. They shifted the meat from the fairgrounds to Louisiana Downs in a week. Louisiana Downs wasn't training either. I'm just saying, although different scenarios, similar situations, maybe, speak to Mr. Chatters and who's the president of HPBA to kind of see what kind of plan they did. Or get some, how they figured out how to put it together if possible.
Take that into consideration. Thank you. Commissioner? Yeah, we were going to close session now. Closed session. Okay, I move that the commission enter into executive session to discuss pending litigation, licensing matters, and for deliberations in connection with legal proceedings as identified under item number 7 of the meeting agenda in accordance with NMRC 1978 sections 10-15-1H, 1, 3, and 7 of the Open Meetings Act. Okay, roll call vote.
If I may, gentlemen, the motion should reflect that it's agenda item number 8. Item 7. Item 7 is public comment.
Okay, thank you. Only
So moved, Commissioner Smith.
Okay. No, it's roll call vote. Roll call vote.
David Hussey Sanchez,
Yes.
Billy Smith,
Yes.
John Buffington,
Yes.
Margaret Branch.
Yes. And we're now in closed session, please. Thank you, everybody, and I appreciate everybody's respectful approach.
You can wait in the lobby if you'd like. You can wait in the lobby.
No. Outside.
Runs the donut.
Yeah, we're on that box. Yeah. A little late.
It's a little like cards.
Shake your hand.
It's right.
The recording has stopped.
Hey, Denise. Okay. Hello, folks. Oh, okay, log off. Got it.
We good?
Lisa, do you want to text Lisa real quick and ask her if she can hear?
Yeah.
Oh, Larry just sent a text. We're good. Okay.
Okay. Okay, let's take us back into open session, please.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right. Honorable Commissioners, we are back from the executive session. And I will affirm that during the executive session, the only matter discussed was the item listed under the agenda 8A, Redoso Downs, possible action taken on 2024 primary license application and upcoming stakes races. Discussion was had among the commissioners, but no decisions were made. Commissioner Sanchez.
Okay, thank you so much. No action was taken here One thing, all I can say is we're continuing to work on this with the Downs of Albuquerque and Ruidoso and see what they come up with. And that's pretty much all we can do right at this moment till we find out where they're at. And they're gonna let probably Mr. Trejo know what they've decided and stuff, but hopefully it be good for the good of this industry and we could move on. We'll find out though. It's totally in their hands.
We're gonna push them really hard.
We're gonna try and do everything we can to push them along.
Will you be informing everybody by email?
Yes, I made requests to the commissioners that we have a special meeting.
Another one or whatever.
Let's get it announced formally. Yeah, informally, I'd let everyone know.
Because that would probably be a good idea because there's a lot of logistics to work out to do that. Because you just don't say, we're gonna do this and that. There's a lot of stuff that has to be worked out that we have to know about and we have to approve. So we probably have to approve. Whatever they work out, we probably have to approve that and get it going. I would say, I'm just guessing, because I've never done this before. I don't think no one's ever asked. We're looking at it. But we'll go from there. So we're gonna adjourn the meeting and we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you all for showing up. Appreciate it.
All right, well, work your magic.
Well, Margaret.
Good meeting.
Good meeting. Over and done with, right?
Yeah, can I have our
The recording has stopped.
orders? The orders are.
Yeah.
Order.